everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you day 28, I think. It's getting a little bit crazy over here. I think it's day 28 of the hashtag AJOS peculiar persona prompt challenge. We have prompts for every day in October 2021, and they are names that you can create. You get clues from the names and you can create characters for your art journal pages. This is to encourage you to art journal every day and get in the habit of doing something creative in your art journal every single day. I'm spending about an hour a day doing this. This is a black page Dilutions dialogue insert journal that I'm using today, and it obviously has black paper. I started out by putting just torn shreds of a magazine article, the text. I often like to put letters or numbers or text into my compositions. I think it's graphically pleasing. I like it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gluing it down with Yoo-hoo glue stick, which is just a glue stick that works really well in your art journal. These books get closed and nothing comes up. You know, I make sure that it's sealed down well, but it's working great. And I'm just putting them across the center section of the page to kind of break up all that black. And then I also have this magazine image of a light that I put up into the upper left corner. The prompt today is Tomaz Thrillkeran. Thrillkeran. Tomaz Thrillkeran. He's very thrilling. He writes thrillers, he performs and thrills everyone with his amazing performances. He's just a really thrilling dude. So I'm doing a kind of a wacky idea of magazine collage making. Some people call it monster making because you're putting all these different characters together, like kind of like Frankenstein. But I'm going to use just little magazine pictures to do it. A head here, an arm there, a body here. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. But before I do that, I was putting on some red paint because to me, red is a thrilling color. It's like it's punchy, you know. It's in your face, and that just seemed like an appropriate color. So I used a Stencil Girl stencil and just stenciled it across the page over the top of where I had put my text paper to kind of break that up too. So then I have a bunch of things torn out. Some of them are cut, some of them aren't. You'll see a lot of cutting in this video because what is magazine collage? It's cutting out images, right? All you do is sit there and cut images. So I started out with this guy's head, and I was gonna make that my head and kind of make one of those big head characters with smaller body, but I ended up not doing that. But that was where I started. I was thinking about books, thrillers, you know, that type of writing, and so playing off the word thrill, I was cutting out some books as the body. I thought that was going to be the shirt, and then I was going to put something below. But anyway, this is a process of moving things around and getting ideas. I had this page that had a lot of school supplies. I think it was an article about school supplies or writing supplies or something. And so I was cutting those out to use as body parts. I also had one little bone section that I thought would look cute on there to break up all the other stuff to make something realistic on there, you know, with all these other things. So just trying them out. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. This is fun. It's goofy. It's fun. That's what this month is about, is making funny characters based on the names that we gave you. So I end up deciding I'm going to change his head. And this guy that I had torn out from a magazine looked like a Tomaz to me. Like his name might be Tomaz. I don't know who he is. Somebody in a magazine. But I thought he looked good, so I decided to change it to a more realistic shape. Or not shape, but size. You know, because the other one was big, which was funny, but also just wasn't really going to work for me. So then I have a lot of little pieces that were, a lot of them are like writing things like pencils, pens, things like that, as well as some of the books and like an eraser and replacement lead things. It was all, a lot of that was all on the same page that I tore out of a magazine. And I think that they work. Um, I mean, this is goofy, and it's intentionally goofy. It's not supposed to be realistic at all. I mean, just the guy's face, and then of course the one skeletal leg with the knee joint, which I thought was funny. It's fun. I also cut out this little box of Crayolas. I love Crayola crayons. I had them when I was a child, and I colored all the time when I was a child. So I like them. There's a box of yellow pencils. There's a gum eraser, just rulers, just things. And I'm just kind of putting them all in the shape of a body, sort of. It's not proportionate, but it doesn't matter. It's whimsical. So I'm going to glue all these things down with my Yoo-Hoo glue stick, and then, just keep working. I didn't really have a foot on the one side, so I thought the Crayola crayons, although they were kind of too big, would look good over there. And the body is books. I left the collar of the shirt on the head, and it really worked out well. I also made kind of like a little plaque of where the shirt would be in the neckline with one of the eraser things. And the arms are a little bit more proportionate to what they would be than the legs are. I guess the legs are cut off. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a crazy, wacky, fun character. Thrilling, obviously, very thrilling. Writes thrillers. He can probably dance like Thriller. I don't know. Maybe fun stuff. So then I really thought the one thing you needed was a hat, and there was a tin of colored pencils in the on the magazine page. So I used that to make the hat. I haven't quite got there yet. Gonna though. I am. Something was off with that leg over there, so I put an extra piece to kind of make it look as if it was coming down because it didn't look quite right, but I didn't change it that much. I just kind of added something extra. Definitely not realistic or proportionate or any of those things. So there's the tin of colored pencils. I'm going to put that on as a hat. So the top's kind of looking bare, like there's no color up there, so I need some color. And then I had this little thing that said hype up your art, or something like that. Thought that was kind of cool to put on there because it's black and white. Like the background kind of reminds me of a chalkboard. This whole book reminds me of a chalkboard because it's kind of it's black, but it's matte paper. It's not shiny. For some reason, every time I look in it, it just reminds me of a chalkboard. So I thought that those little words, the white words on the black background, made sense. I cut out a couple little colored pencils and stuck them in the brim of the hat. And then I'm making the the brim of the hat out of a piece of ruler picture. Just fun stuff, a lot of fun. I recommend doing this. Just, grab a stack of magazines, and whatever you find in there, you can make something out of it. I mean, who would make a person out of books and writing and coloring supplies? But works out perfectly. So then I needed shading around everything because I needed the body part to stand out from the background. The background's really intense because of that red. It's very dramatic, and so that's appropriate for this person, Tomaz What's his name again? Gotta look. Tomaz Thrillkeran. Thrillkeran. I don't know. That guy needed to be dramatic, needed to be something, but I need the body to stand out. So I started with my black Stabilo all pencil all around the edges. I blended that. Then I got out some Posca pens and I'm doing some weird little highlights with the white and the black and some lines, making the glasses a little bit more dramatic. He's wearing glasses, giving him some light in his eyes and some reflection off of the glasses. And just adding little quick lines like I do sometimes for highlights on one side of the stuff to try to make it stand out from the background. Come forward, you know. Plus, I like to do it. It's fun. But I still needed more delineation, so I got out the gray colored, what is this? A King Art gel stick that you can blend with your finger. And I put that around the body to try to push back that red right in the areas where the body is. I don't want to make the red go away, but I do want to kind of like push it back. So I did that, and then I brought in even stronger lines with here and there with the black Posca pen. I think I even went over it one more time at the end with the Stabilo all pencil around to try to get, just get the differentiation from the background and the foreground. It was a little bit tricky. I wanted to do some mark making, so I decided to use my black pen and just kind of draw around some of the shapes from the stencil, the red shapes from the stencil in the background. That makes me happy just doing that. So I wanted to do that. It also just adds more texture and makes it more interesting. Although there is a lot going on this page. It's pretty crazy stuff. I also did splatters. I got a red pen, a red acrylic marker, and put red around the words and then added a little bit of red splatter as well, just by flicking the pen, getting everything dry there. I thought I needed, on most of these, I've been putting the prompt name, because it kind of just gives the correlation between the challenge and the page. Because you might wonder 20 years from now when you're looking through the art journal, why the heck did she make that? I won't remember. So it's good to have the connection just so that you can understand it later. So this time I did it with a little thermal printer, stuck it on there, a little sticker, and drew around it with the Posca pen. And I wrote the challenge on there too. Hope you guys have enjoyed this page and all the pages this month. I hope you're participating and posting your art journal pages with your crazy kooky characters using the hashtag AJOS peculiar persona. It took me a minute to think of it. AJOS peculiar persona is the hashtag. You can search that hashtag and find other people's art. You can join us at Art Joy of Sharing on Facebook in the art community. If you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment or a question below, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you know when there's a new video. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just, you find out when you log into YouTube that there's a new video on my channel. So do that. And of course, you can share this if you think this is somebody that you know would find amusing. You could share it with them. And yeah, I decided after the fact, I had a little picture of an electric guitar, and I thought what he needs is an electric guitar, right? Because he's thrilling. He does everything. He's like an awesome dude. So I glued on the electric guitar, put some shading around it. And I also have some Stickles glitter glue that I put a little bit of that on the light and on the guitar. And I think that's the only places. But anyway, that is it for me for day 28. And I will see you tomorrow with another page. Bye bye.